matches. I think she's doing a good job there. Tons of experience, provides some stability in the back row and some good ball control.
And what jumps out at you about the Hurricanes?
Flor Marie Heredia Colon. I mean, four kills a set. Big time left side. Look to see her take a ton of swings tonight for Miami.
We are moments away from getting underway in Blacksburg. Nice crowd on hand. It is the ACC home opener for Virginia Tech. All smiles on both sides. Great to have ACC volleyball in full swing. Conference play is here.
It's the new ACC, Evan. Just getting bigger and better every year.
It is quickly established itself as one of the premier volleyball conferences in America.
If you told me that 10 years ago, I'd say you're crazy, but the depth and quality to have a team like Miami here tonight who it's going to be a fight for them to be top 5 in the league with so much talent, so much athleticism. Should be a really fun one this evening.
Victoria Walgren coming off of a double-double on Sunday against Wake Forest. She gets us underway, the Hokies and the Hurricanes. Walgren looking for Pierce. Good up in the back row. Opportunity on the free ball. Pierce, another attempt. Really great effort on another Miami free ball.
She was trying to make that hittable there.
That's out, and a lengthy opening point of the match to Miami. Rosado with a huge up.
Yeah, Udalise Rosado, she was trying to make that was trying to be a hittable ball there. It's a secondary set. That's really ambitious.
Pierce on the right side. Carney, the sophomore, good coverage at the 10-foot line. Rodriguez for Carney, yes, and a 2-0 Miami lead.
Ava Carney, no stranger to the ACC. Played last year at Wake Forest. Had a really good freshman year and then transferred to Miami during the offseason.
Jump serve from Lopez, friendly roll off the tape. And Malinowski unable to convert on a slide attempt.
Yeah, that's covered pretty well too. Carney's a big blocker, and then Dahlia Wilson closed well there. I think this rotation one here for Virginia Tech where they're stacked with Malinowski, Hallman, and Pierce all on the left side of the court. You need to get a good pass or have Grace Lopez miss her serve. You'll take it either way. You can either do it the easy way or the hard way.
Pierce checks out. And Elizabeth Aylward, the sophomore, in. Rodriguez plays that beautifully.
Yeah, that turn, that kind of turn and flush right there. I've seen it. I watched it a lot last night with Oklahoma, Kentucky, but this good. She sells the set. Pierce has to move. I'm sorry, Bell Patrick has to go with Wilson on the slide. That leaves Hallman with the responsibility of both getting to the pins to block and trying to stop that dump.
Right side swing, rejected. Patrick, the freshman, on the defensive end.
I think Milana Moisio and Grace Lopez are going to want that one back. That thing was pretty well covered. Good block from Patrick. That ball's got to be covered 10 times out of 10.
Float serve, Manguel Duran. Back row swing from Lopez in the corner. What a beautiful swing.
Yeah, great set too from Rodriguez. Leads Lopez, lets her take off from behind the 10-foot line and leap into the front court to attack this. And then Lopez just finds that deep corner. It's pretty tough. I mean, you hit the ball there, you're going to win. That's going to score in pretty much every gym.
Malinowski got all of that.
Malinowski really challenging the line there. Going right at Cologne. It's a left side blocker. Finds that line, finds a little bit of window. I think it's a good block. Honestly, I think it's a good block. She had to paint about a 10-inch space in order to not make a hitting error there.
Huge dig, Manguel Duran on what could be a special night for her. Back row swing, Lopez. There's Aylward. Heredia Cologne with a touch at the net. Point to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Cologne just working the top of that block. Hard, cross court. Tough to dig when you find hands like that. Miami and Virginia Tech both already utilizing back row attack, trying to keep those blockers occupied, especially in a two-hitter phase.
Back and forth, opening set. And here's the freshman, Belle Patrick, who has been such a spark since her first match from an offensive standpoint in her rookie season. That's on the line. We highlighted Grace Lopez in the open. She's picking up right where she left off from last weekend.
This is really good location here from Ariana Rodriguez. Almost off her back foot, kind of just chucking this thing perfectly in tempo to Grace Lopez. All the way out to the left pin. When you have a lefty hitting left side in that one rotation, you've got to get the ball all the way across the court. It's why it's tough to set, tough to hit. For a lefty out there, Lopez does it so well.
Rodriguez, middle, paintbrush hit. And they're going to award the point to Virginia Tech.
Okay, so the call here is 4 contacts, saying that ball was never touched by the block. We have a really good look at it here. And to me, that ball, that live looked like it was touched, like that's a play on. We're going to see it. Hard to see from that angle, but it came off hard off the block. All right, Keno Gondera is not going to challenge it. Interesting.
On the right side, Lopez, that's wide. Rodriguez in the middle, and a great swing from Bianca Lulick. That'll make her head coach very happy. Jose Keno Gondera, fantastic player and a fantastic coach.
Yeah, Keno's been around forever. Came to the University of Miami from Washington, where he was on the bench for a national championship, working for Jim McLaughlin. And then Miami's always been a destination for international players. But with Keno's connections overseas, they've really solidified that as a great place for foreign players to come play in college volleyball. He's had some really good teams at Miami.
Made the NCAA tournament last season. Great swing from Haley Pierce. Puts Virginia Tech within a point. The right side, Lopez. That is a little long and wide. Tech ties it at 8.
Yeah, she's a little bit, she's been effective out of the back row and effective on the left side, but not super effective on the right side yet, which is her natural attacking position.
Really getting up, Ava Carney, the sophomore.
Yeah, that block didn't close. Hallman and Malinowski left the seam in the middle. Carney just kind of goes right at that seam, scores through the block. It's got to be, so Hallman has to try and close there, but Malinowski's got to dive in that seam too to stop it.
And there you see head coach Marcy Byers in her 5th season at the helm.
I think it's a big weekend for Virginia Tech. I mean, starting out in the league is tough, and then you come home and you have a Miami team that just wants a big serve from Lopez. You know, Miami team that just dropped out of the top 25, and then number 16 Florida State on Sunday. It's a big week.
And everyone swinging really hard on this Miami side. And there's Flor Marie Heredia Cologne.
Ready Cologne here on the pipe. Just hitting that, just going to hit that bump set again. That block's got to close. I mean, if she's not attacking on that swing that high above the tape, if the block closes, you're going to get a block there.
Lopez, big dig in the back row.
That's tough. That's tight.
Walgren, the set from Malinowski, cross court, as a touch at the net. Tech within one.
Yeah, that's Dahlia Wilson, middle blocker there for Miami. She gets a piece of it. You can see Lopez went for it, missed it. Good swing from Malinowski. Yep, off that right hand of Dahlia Wilson. Lopez knew it too. She just whiffed on it. It's an interesting start here for these two teams. Miami only hitting .211, Virginia Tech .071, has not been clean offensively for either squad.
Bump set from Manguel Duran. Play at the net. Carney, cross court, you bet.
So that's one of the first swings we've seen for Miami where they got anybody one-on-one. They're setting Dahlia Wilson on the 31, the previous phase. She gets dug, sure, but now Hallman's got to respect that. They get a good pass, and now Ava Carney's one-on-one gets the kill. Miami puts you under so much pressure because they're always attacking from 5 positions.
Middle open. Jordan Hallman, the junior, really coming along offensively here in 2024.
I think it's been a big key for Virginia Tech the last month or so, trying to get their middles more involved on offense. Hallman, when you get her in system, she's effective working those angles. She's not super big, but she can hit good angles. Jasmine Robinson as well, they're going to need the middles to produce. Take some of the pressure and some of the block attention off of your outsides and right sides.
A float serve to an overpass and an easy put away to tie it 11.
Hey, easy way or the hard way.
Manguel Duran, a lot of power, but that float serve's been good. Here it is again. And what a swing. Lopez, back row.
Yeah, Lopez, that's perfectly in tempo. That's almost a big tempo. So that's going to be quicker than your usual pipe. You can see Lopez, how far she takes off. She attacks this thing. It's such a great shot right there by our crew. She attacks that 3 feet inside the 10-foot line, 3 feet inside the 3-meter line when she takes that swing.
And Walgren looked like she brought that back over the net, so point for Miami.
So she's in the net there. They're not going to call that a double. Now the referee held up 2 fingers because she's number 2, telling which player was in the net. But she just netted on that tight pass.
Manguel Duran, pretty good set for Patrick. On the move, Rodriguez, already a Cologne.
Yep.
Lopez, she's going to swing wherever on the floor.
That's such a valuable outlet for Ariana Rodriguez to be able to go, all right, we covered, we block covered, and now we're out of system, but I can just reverse flow, go to the other side of the court, and just bump set my really great lefty out there on the back row. She finds a kill for me.
Patrick getting involved for Virginia Tech. That's her second kill of the opening set.
Rodriguez, man, she's a cool customer. She really is. You can see the confidence she has in herself and in what she's doing. Oh.
Flor Marie Heredia Cologne, the junior, elevates so high on the outside, puts Miami up by 3. We'll step aside for our first break. Back to Castle Coliseum after these messages.
Welcome to Virginia Tech.
The coach for Miami. We're going to show you Jose Cano-Gondara, the player, and just how outstanding he was in his playing days.
Yeah, this is footage from the Puerto Rican Professional League. They have a long tradition of men's and women's professional volleyball in Puerto Rico. You know, we have a lot of great players walking around in the coaching ranks, and a lot of the players don't know it because a lot of it was happening before volleyball was on TV so much. Ken Jose. Really remarkable player in his time.
We've got a back and forth opening set one, but yeah, pleasure to talk to Coach Gondara. He just has such a love for the game, and when he talks about his players, such passion and pride and joy in them.
Miami was good when he got there, and he's done a remarkable job building the program as the ACC has gotten better and better in his time in Coral Gables. They've kept pace. They've been good. This squad, I think, is really special this year.
16-13 lead for Miami. If you're just joining us, opening set, Hurricanes hitting 321 as a team. Virginia Tech 250. On the season, Miami hitting 266.
Big difference in production, though, is Virginia Tech 6 kills so far in set one. Miami has 12. They're generating points, they're earning points through offense in a way that Hokies aren't right now.
Heredia Colon, the float serve. Pierce. Big up from Rodriguez with one hand to keep the point alive. There's a pancake. Pierce stuffed. Hokies unable to play it out of the nets.
Big block there by Bianca Lulick. Hokies couldn't cover. This is where it gets tough for Virginia Tech because Miami's a good serving team. Lopez, Rodriguez with jump serves, lefty jump serves that are going from zone 5 to the left side of the court of Miami to the left side of the court of Virginia Tech. It's a tough serve to pass. Put your outside hitters under a lot of pressure. But then you get switched up with some solid float serving, some short serving. So, you get them into situations where bad passes and now that big athletic block comes into play.
There you see the amazing 2023 for Grace Lopez, an AVCA All-American, honorable mention. Jake, what makes it difficult for teams to see an outside right side hitter swinging from the left side as a southpaw?
Yeah, so in a sport like baseball, lefties are overrepresented. Volleyball, it's a tougher sport for left-handed players because, four of the 5 attacking positions, the ball has to come from, for a lefty, over your shoulder. So they're kind of limited to playing right side most of the time. You don't see a ton of lefties. And so if you don't see a ton of lefties or good lefties every day, it's hard to prepare for them. There's no difference, there's nothing special about them. It's just a different look. So you have to think about, how do I set my block up? The shots are going to look different. Plus, a player like Grace Lopez, on an inside set, a set that doesn't make it all the way to the antenna, a right-handed player is going to have a hard time hitting that ball because they have to get their right shoulder inside to the court. Whereas that's a much easier ball for Grace Lopez than it is a lefty. So those inside sets, a bad set, becomes a much better set for someone like Lopez. So it's just tough, man. And then her specifically, she's a good defender. She's available out of the back row, hits D-ball, hits pipes, hits from the right side of the back row, middle of the back row, and can hit both positions in the front row. She's a special player.
Out of the Virginia Tech timeout, Miami by 5. Pierce, 10-foot line, covered well. Lopez, Pierce to Robinson for the free ball. Walgren dumps.
Oh, that's good.
Another great free ball. Robinson.
Oh.
Manuel Durang. Pierce. The exclamation point on the best point of set number 1.
Bodies on the floor. Idalise Rosado flying through the air to make that dig. And then just a good out-of-system swing here from Haley Pierce. Hit it high, hit it deep, make somebody dig it.
That point right there, my friend, that is what makes volleyball such a fun sport.
Let's see if we can keep that up for a couple hours in here, and we'll have a fun one.
Idalise Rosado, the senior, had 10 or more digs each of the last 4 matches. That's put down. That's all thanks to a great serve. Go back to 2022. Rosado, 4 aces against Virginia Tech, which is tied for her career high.
see the different types of serves that Miami brings out. Now she executes the short serve, kind of misses her location there. Yep, so Rosado tries to go short. You want that short serve to be, at worst, inside the 3-meter line. She doesn't execute, so this becomes kind of a lollipop, a little bit of a cream puff serve. Easy pass, good set. Pierce gets the kill. Difference between tough serving and a kind of a mislocation.
Hokies trying to rally. Here's Walgren. Strong serve. She'll get another. She's got the ace. What an addition Victoria Walgren's been. Coming in from Utah, had over 1,100 assists there. Double-double on Sunday. Can do a little bit of everything.
Her physicality is important, I think, for Virginia Tech. She stays pretty calm and cool, too. They need that. Woo, wow.
Carney with a deflection back row.
Excuse me, they're having that Ariana Rodriguez just kind of doesn't look like she's going to get square to where she's trying to set. And kind of that last second, she's able to turn her shoulders, turn her hips, and execute a really perfect hut set outside.
Pierce. Good coverage from Miami. Carney trying to find the opening. Malinowski. Lopez. Point Tech, that was wide. And Virginia Tech hanging around trying to make a late push, set one.
Yeah, Miami was looking for a touch there, but there's no touch. I think Virginia Tech tried to dig it and just missed. That ball missed a couple feet wide. So now Lopez is coming out of the passing pattern, out of the serve-receive pattern. Ava Carney in. But Lopez will be available on the back row.
Virginia Tech in the net.
Yeah, looks like Bell Patrick in the net there. So Heredia Colon goes in. She's kind of out of tempo there. Ends up tipping on the back row attack. Virginia Tech is a little overextended, trying to block that ball because they're on their way down.
Malinowski, big rejection. Hokies unable. Thought maybe that was clean, but they're going to say four
contacts? Huh. That's surprising to me. See what this looks like on replay here. It's a big block from Heredia Colon. Here we go, yep. All right, look at the move Heredia Colon makes right here. Boom. 1, 2. Unless they're saying that Hallman got a piece of it. I mean, that would be contact 3 theoretically. Because Macarol Duran does not.
You see Marcy Byers' reaction immediately off the bench.
Look at this move from Heredia Colon though. Full extension, gets square. There's one touch. I mean, Hallman tried. Hallman's also under, so they are looking at it. According to graphics in the building.
Timeout was called. Brian Jones, Terry Martin, our 2 referees tonight.
All right, so this is not a review. We're being told by our production team this is not a review. We're just a little bit of confusion in the arena.
So timeout from Virginia Tech. Jake, what has impressed you most about seeing the 24 Hurricanes for the first time in person?
Man, they play fast and high. I mean, that ball gets from the setter to the attackers. They use all 30 feet of width of the court. They're using, back row attack well, front row attack well. Ariana Rodriguez, when she's in system, when she has a good pass, she's finding people. She's in total control. I think the one thing...
Call on the court was 4 contacts. Tech is challenging 4.
They're challenging. Okay.
All right, so we are getting a challenge now.
Touch for 4 hits.
We are getting a challenge. No, I think that Miami, the one thing for them is going to stay consistent in serve receive because the other pieces, based on the first half an hour here, the other pieces are there. We saw that on film too. They've already beat Texas this year. They beat Arkansas. All right, here we go. So ball's definitely blocked. There's one. Depends if Jordan Hallman touched it or not. I think she did not, but I do think from the perspective of our R1, it's hard for him to tell that when he's on the stand. She tried for sure. Hallman's also under there, her whole hand underneath across the center line. And I'm trying to see here if Terry Martin, our R2, he obviously can't blow the whistle to stop play. Let's see how far under Hallman is. But what he can do is he can give a call to his partner. Actually, they don't even do that anymore because now the officials have microphone headset communication between each other. So he might have given that call to the R1, which then the R1 blows the whistle on the stand. It's a tough one because I don't think, and watching it live, I don't think Hallman touched it. But you've got to have, conclusive proof. Virginia Tech fans, a lot of experience recently with instant replay review against Miami. We find ourselves a week later after Virginia Tech Miami football ends in replay review. Here we are. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
Partner, I'm with you. I think there's an attempt made, but I'm not seeing any clear contact for a fourth touch.
I think she misses it. Because if she touches that, this is not how you prove it, but if she touches that, there's no way Patrick makes the play. So we're about to get the call here from Terry Martin.
Result of the replay is Virginia Tech point. Virginia Tech, replay on that. It was not four contacts.
Yeah, so they're going to replay the point because the whistle blew in the middle of play. The call is there was not four contacts. It should have been a play on. So because the whistle blew, this will be treated as an inadvertent whistle, and we'll replay the point.
Jake Lawrence, you're 1 for 1 today.
I can't tell you the last time I was right about a challenge.
And keep in mind, Virginia Tech called timeout, then it went to a review, so there's been a stoppage on the floor for at least a good 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. So it's good to take a look at kind of our reset. The Miami serve here with Milana Moisio on the service line. Virginia Tech is in rotation 2 right now. So that is Jordan Hallman, Sarah Malinowski, and Belle Patrick in the front row. Miami is in rotation 5 with Dahlia Wilson and Heredia Colon in the front row with a front row center.
The middle has been really good in set 1 to Virginia Tech. There it is again.
Yeah, I think it's important for Virginia Tech to get their offense on track. If your middles don't score a ton, which Virginia Tech's middles don't, but getting them the ball early in a match is kind of like body shots in a boxing, in a fight. Those add up over time. Force the opposing middle to really pay attention. They pay off later in the match.
Robinson in the middle, Tech within 3.
Yeah, Robinson getting up and available in transition right there. It's not pretty. Walgren forces that 31. Robinson gets a hand on it, creates chaos. Again, Dahlia Wilson has to respect that moving forward. You can see the distance between the center and the middle there.
That's out. And out of the Virginia Tech timeout, all of a sudden, Tech within 2 and a timeout from Miami.
That's a low set there. The back one from Ariana Rodriguez to Dahlia Wilson. So that thing never really got high enough for Wilson to get on top of it. So elbow stays low. You get behind the ball, and you tend to hit it flat and long. It's a really aggressive set. I mean, Rodriguez was almost on her knees when she set that ball, so it's an aggressive set, and I think it's a really nice thing to be able to do. If you're Wilson, you just got to know, hey, it didn't quite get there. I can't take a full swing at it, because if I do, I'm probably hitting it out of bounds, maybe up into the bleachers.
What have you liked about the way Virginia Tech has kind of grinded through this set to get into this position?
I'll tell you the thing that stands out, they're, again, only 9 kills versus Miami's 16 here, but they're not making a lot of errors. Not a lot of hitting errors. They're keeping the ball in play. They've kept some service pressure on Miami. Miami's passing's got cold here in the last 10, 12 points. So if Miami's not in system, they're a lot more like everybody else. So you put them into a situation where they're more manageable to deal with. Lopez hitting on the back row off a bump set. Okay, that's a lot better than Lopez hitting a quick back row D ball off a perfect pass with 3 other hitters attacking.
Both of these teams looking for win number 1 in league play, coming in 0-2. And a chance to take the opening set. There's Manguel Duran, who is 1 dig shy from career number 1,000. Heredia Colon got all of that one. A powerful swing.
Yeah, I don't think trying Heredia Colon and serve receive is the answer here. That thing's on the money. And Walgren's basically like, look out below. I mean, again, it's a pretty good block. Hit it right at her. Block did its job there. It's just a bomb from Heredia Colon.
Dahlia Wilson comes off the floor. Here's Paula Gushing.
Gushing coming in as a serving sub here for Wilson. Try and close this thing out here for Miami.
The 2022 Horizon League Player of the Year. Patrick, she got all of that one on the other end. The freshman delivers.
Big swing from Bell Patrick. Good pass. I don't think it's going to matter, but an interesting thing to keep an eye on if this thing goes long here is they did not sub Wilson back in for Gushing. So Gushing just came off for the libero. They need to remember to sub Wilson back on here.
And an ace for the Hokies.
I don't think it's going to happen, but if it gets back where we get another 3 rotations deep and Wilson's spot rotates to the front row, they need to remember to make that sub. So you want to have hopefully your staff is keeping a track of that, like, hey, Keno, make sure we make that sub.
One of Virginia Tech's best servers all year, Aisha Carrick, had a 6-match service ace streak that ended a couple of weeks ago. Chance to serve and tie this set. Just a little below the tape, and it's set point for Miami.
That's tough. Coming as a serving sub because you got that big serve. Missed serves are going to happen, but there's a good missed serve and a bad missed serve, and I think in the middle of the net is the latter there.
Manguel Duran the pass, the set from Walgren, overpass.
That's up.
What an
That's up.
unbelievable up in the back row from Aylward. But Miami clinches set 1, a back and forth one that had a ton of fireworks, and what a way to set the
5. We'll talk about this later, I think, but it would not be strange to see 3 teams in the Final Four out of the ACC. That's an ace to start for Miami. Again, that short serving, Rosado able to mix things up. Don't be surprised if Rosado goes, works Elizabeth Aylward again, but serves her deep, or kind of serves into her chest a little bit. try and work the short, long, a little bit of a yo-yo game with your passers. It's not. I've been in that spot before as a server and as a passer, and it is not a fun place to be as a passer if someone's kind of playing you short and long.
And not only was that a float serve, ton of spin she put on that.
Just moves. And there's the deep serve. That's a good pass.
Patrick fires up her teammates.
Yeah, and I think for Virginia Tech that's really important. So Aylward gets aced, then Aylward handles a pretty good serve, gets a decent pass, and now you've got Patrick one-on-one. That's when you have to convert. You know, Miami's such a tough serving team and a good blocking team. When you get the good passes and the one-on-one opportunities, that's when the hitters have to step up and score.
Lopez off the block. How about the set as well from Ariana Rodriguez, off balanced?
Ariana Rodriguez is running to the 10-foot line. This is like jail for a setter. You're 10 feet off the net, you're pushed backwards almost to the right sideline, and she goes over her right shoulder to put an absolutely perfect setup there for Grace Lopez. And now the band is in trouble for playing after the service whistle.
We've got a great atmosphere in Castle Coliseum tonight.
That's our first official, Brian Jones, gave a very mean look up to the band up in the stands for playing after the serve whistle for serve.
Patrick, well read in the corner. Patrick cross court. It is out. Miami ahead 3-1.
All right, so call is out. Line judge initially signaled touch, but was overruled by the first official. And now Marcy Byers and Caleb Adams from Virginia Tech are asking questions about that. So off the tape, no touch. Officials got it right at the end. And I think that's good officiating. Yeah, that touch is tape, not block. And I think the official, Terry Martin, got it right there where it's like, I saw it. Like it was my call, I saw it. Probably saving Marcy Byers a lost challenge there.
Aisha Carrick, part of a really talented freshman class. Has gotten a lot of opportunity, too, in the first 6 weeks of the season.
I think she does some good things.
10-foot line open, and there's Dahlia Wilson, the junior.
Carrick, she's physical, left-handed. She's really an opposite hitter. They're using her as a defensive specialist. I think she brings some good things to the court for Virginia Tech. So we can see this look from overhead. Slide attack. Rodriguez puts this on the money. Dahlia Wilson with a tip to the middle of the floor. You see that spacing. Someone, it's really going to be Manuel Duran, has got to go get that.
That's wide. Belle Patrick, day one, an immediate offensive impact. She goes back to serve quickly. What has impressed you about her rookie season most, Jake?
I think she's getting better. I think she's getting better over the last 5 weeks or so that I've seen her play. She's finding. Oof. Yeah, it's high off the block. So Patrick is finding angles. She's working the angles, finding ways to score against double blocks, against bigger, more physical players. Speaking of physical players, Heredia Colon there with the kill off the top of the block.
There you see Belle Patrick, two-time first-team All-State out of Cary, North Carolina. Her dad, Kevin, an outstanding player at the University of Miami. He's in the Hall of Fame, Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Pretty elite company.
If you're in the Miami Football Hall of Fame, that's saying a lot.
Robinson in the middle. Pierce. Lopez. Pierce on the outside. Well read in the back row. That's just out. Good coverage at the net from Virginia Tech.
I think it's a good move there from Victoria Walgren. I think that was a tremendous run there by Miami. Ariana Rodriguez puts that thing on a rope to Heredia Cologne. Walgren reads it well. She's one-on-one. She's got to get big against a big attacker. She can't quite find that thing in the net, in the court.
Dahlia Wilson puts Miami ahead 7-3. You know, the Canes went out, and we've talked a little bit about the transfers they've brought in. Wilson being another, 2 years at Kansas State. Played in just 7 sets last year, but over 70 kills this season. Really finding a home in the middle for Miami.
Well, I think it's the transfer portal's been good for players to be able to find the right place for them.
And a timeout from Marcy Byers and Virginia Tech. Very entertaining opening set. Miami in front 8-3, set 2, back after this.
Our housemate.
Really talented Miami roster. And Coach Gondara has brought in players from all over the world. Really cool to see.
Again, Miami has always been a destination for kind of the global community. And University of Miami is definitely set up well to do that. Keno has those connections. If you think about if you're from another country, you think of the cities in America that you might know or haven't imagine what they're like. Miami is one of them. You know, like, hey, do you want to come to Miami? The beach. The colors are good.
Always warm. And speaking of Coach Gondara,
some sort of delay.
And it's Wilson coming off an ace before the timeout. Miami on a 5-0 run. Pierce.
Good play there for Robinson to recognize that.
Middle wide open. There's Bianca Lulick, the redshirt senior from San Diego.
Yeah, just feeding Lulick there in transition. She's got a lot of length. Doesn't get all of it there, but hits a good angle, hits around Robinson's block. Oh, that's nasty serve.
A pancake. Just a little long, the roll shot from Pierce. And Miami ahead 11-3. Jake, what does Virginia Tech need to do here?
They've got to get out of this rotation. They've got to get a receive serve, get in the system. It's a tough rotation here because only 2 attackers in the front row.
Hokies read the middle well. Robinson loads up, stops the run.
That's a good aggressive play by Robinson. That's a lot harder than it looks, Evan. Having to step off the net. You can see Robinson just take a step back there to hit an overpass. That, as a player, always gave me the heebie-jeebies. Thinking about having to take that step back to hit an overpass. A good swing from Robinson.
Lopez to the corner. She can hit every spot on the court.
Yeah, well, what's been interesting, you know, to me with Lopez is how she's being used inside out has been primarily out of the D ball, that right back row swing. But just last rotation, she was playing defense and middle back, so she could hit the pipe up the middle of the court. Her versatility is impressive. Like, to be a really high-level player in college, you need to be able to do like 1 or 2 things really well. Grace Lopez can do several things well, but do it in multiple spots.
And look at Ariana Rodriguez, just how far she starts back on this jump serve.
Woo!
It's an ace. And it puts Miami up 10.
Well, she kind of rolled her first couple in set 1, had not found her range yet. But now she's found it. Big approach, big swing. I think Virginia Tech needs to drop another passer back there and pass with 4 here.
How do you balance as a coach, Jake, serving tough, but also not being too aggressive, where it can lead to service errors?
You want to serve well. You know what I mean? Like, to me, serving aggressive goes hand in hand with executing that. So if you're able to, if you want to be a server, if you're going to serve for us, you have to, one, be able to put in some kind of tough serve, but be able to do it under pressure. And someone like Rodriguez, like, hey, look, she's going to miss. And that's okay, because the ones she makes are vicious.
Already a Cologne play right to us as the camera is okay. The monitor got knocked over. Jake Lawrence is okay.
Yeah,
Partner, you all right?
We're good, yeah, we're good.
Great effort there from the Hokies.
Sierra Cates making the run. I had to remind myself not to catch the ball. We're good. She knocked over a slice of pizza.
Walgren, Malinowski, well read, blocked in the middle. And we've talked a lot about the middles today for Virginia Tech, Jake. You know, Sarah Malinowski 2 weeks ago, final week of the non-conference play, MVP of the tournament here at Virginia Tech, can be a really important piece when she's on the floor.
And I think Sarah Malinowski is one of the more physical front row players for Virginia Tech. She's someone who operates really well in system. If they want to get her the ball, they've got to pass well. They have not been. But on good passes, you've got to resist the temptation then to go to your kill leaders in Haley Pierce and Belle Patrick. Get Malinowski involved in ways that she's going to be successful. This, to me, is a tough rotation for them because they're stacked on the left side. They like to run Malinowski on a 2-ball. They don't give her a lot of room to be able to hit around a block. And Hallman, they never set this slide. Like, they almost never set Hallman in this rotation 1. So I think the blockers tend to get away from her and focus on Malinowski. Now they're going to run slide with Malinowski.
Rodriguez, Heredia Cologne stuffed. All sorts of emotion from the Hokies, and rightfully so.
That's a good block here from Jordan Hallman. Heredia Cologne out of the back row. Hallman reads it well, times it well, executes the block.
Back-to-back points, a block, and a service ace.
Again, it's got to be Carney in this rotation because Lopez, this is the one rotation Lopez really can't pass because she's pushed up in middle front by the setter. So she really can't get in the receive pattern. Yeah, it's going to be Belle Patrick in the net here.
Point, Miami.
Jake, we've talked a lot about the Miami offense here today, but Ariana Rodriguez, a redshirt freshman, such a fun setter to watch. Why?
She's got swagger. She kind of lopes around the court in between points, and she is just in control of her teammates. She's in control of, you know, the tempo and how she's going to run. She changes her tempos. She changes how she jumps. Oh, my gosh.
Heredia Cologne, her 10th kill, a big one.
I've played with setters this good, and I wasn't this good, but I played with setters this good, and man, it makes your day. Yeah, so what are you going to do? Like, you've got 3 attackers in the front row, then run Heredia Cologne up on the bick right there. It's tough. Like, that's what happens when you set free balls. Rodriguez has been really fun tonight.
Ariana Rodriguez out of New York, coming off of a 41 assist night against Florida State. And remember, she didn't play last year in her true freshman season. And
Savannah Bach was here for Miami, who is an all-ACC player.
And for Ariana Rodriguez, it's been a busy summer for her, not just getting ready for her year at Miami. How about being on the Dominican Republic Olympic team in Paris?
What did you do on your summer vacation? You know, getting to play with all-time great, future probably volleyball Hall of Famer Betty De La Cruz for the Dominican Republic. That is a country that really punches above its weight in international volleyball. A lot of great players have come out of the Dominican Republic over the years. What an amazing experience to be able to have.
Underclassmen in college, getting to go to the Olympics. I mean, how cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to 2028.
I'm sure you will be going to see
we're going.
Some volleyball.
Oh, we're going. We're already trying to figure out what hotels and things like that 4 years away. Volleyball will be at whatever they call, I think it's the Honda Center, where the Anaheim Ducks play. So it's be in Anaheim. It's where men's and women's volleyball indoor will be hosted. Should be good.
Yeah, just a redshirt freshman with such great talent around her. Lopez, already a Cologne, Carney, a Lulick.
She makes them better. There's no question about that. Like, good setter will make your hitters better. She does that.
Patrick stuffed at the net. As we were just talking about the offense, there's the defense showing up for the Canes.
Lopez, big move right there. Takes away that low seam. Got to find ways around the edges. Miami's too athletic. They're going to make you pay.
Walgren on the move. And the middle. And Dahlia Wilson. Miami 5 points away from set number 2. Jake, you think about Miami offensively. Outside, right side, middle, back row. Everywhere they've set the ball and they've converted offensively.
Yeah. They're obviously led by, big block again from Ava Carney. So they're led by the pin players, by Lopez, Carney, and Heredia Cologne. The middles out there are true middle blockers. They're out there to do their job defensively, put in the work. But when you can get them fed and get them the ball in the middle, they're going to score for you, especially in transition. I don't think you need to run them a lot in serve receive, trying to side out. But in transition, they're going to be super effective.
Patrick.
I tell you what, when you play with a setter like Rodriguez, and you're a middle, like it's like playing with a kind of a Jason Kidd type of point guard, where you'd better have your eyes open because that ball's coming. And you better be ready to take a hit, to take a swing. If you're up on time and working hard in transition to get up to attack, she's gonna find you.
That's wide. And Leandra Mangle-Duran will continue to serve. Now, earlier this set, picked up her 5th dig. That means career number 1,000. Congratulations to her. Big achievements. Great career at Missouri, 2nd year at Virginia Tech. A true leader on this Hokie squad that everyone looks up to.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they have needed somebody to stabilize them in serve receive. And she has, she hit a lot last year and contributed a lot there, and has hit some this season, but I think this is probably right now what is better for the team is to play libero and be a six rotation serve receiver.
There's Robinson in the middle. Lopez, that's out. Well, for Virginia Tech here, Jake, down 12, a chance here to try and create some good momentum before the break and getting back for set 3.
Yeah, I think you're looking to take some swings, find some success, but also let's try a little bit different approach.
Miami is challenging for a net.
Looking for a net call here on the block. But I think here's where you say, all right, let's run a different play set. Let's try something else in this rotation to see how Miami responds, because you're down 22-10. Your win probability here is super, super low. So find some success, try and develop a little bit of rhythm here before set 3. Here we go. Right. It's not Patrick. I mean, it could be Jasmine Robinson, but I don't see it. Maybe as they land. It's pretty good. Once Patrick gets it right here. Oh, look at that right hand. Yep, right there. So it's Bell Patrick's right forearm. Because that's part of the block move, because that's part of the play, even though that ball's long gone. We'll get an announcement here from Terry Martin.
Calling for is reversed. There was a net on Virginia Tech number 15.
Yeah, it's pretty clear there. She may not even have felt that, honestly. I was in the net all the time. So I was always very much like,
that.
I was like, all right, coach, it was me. I was in the net.
Lopez to serve. 11 kills. High jump serve. Great pass, Mangle Durant. Great swing in the middle for Robinson.
So Lopez kind of takes something off this jump serve, tries to adjust to kind of a weak toss. Manuel Duran nails the pass. They get it to Robinson in the middle, and they make Robinson reach. Really, that's her full extension to get that swing. Again, she doesn't crush that, but she doesn't have to. Get that high extension, get around the block, and start working to the corners of the court. There's no defenders there.
Robinson tried to dump, and there's Robinson. Walgren reading it well for Virginia Tech. The tough spot there is a setter, right? Not a ton of options?
Not a ton of options. I mean, I don't think it's going to phase her. Wouldn't be shocked to see her come right back to it.
Carney well long, and the Hokies battling here late in set 2.
And we've seen Miami make a few hitting errors here at the end of the set. They've cooled off just a touch. Watch Carney coming inside for something here on the left side. Nope.
Patrick getting up on the defensive end.
I could see Rodriguez and Ava Carney talking about something right before that set. I was wondering if they're going to try and change the play set, or at least the point of attack for her. It was a nice slide set. Patrick stays, she times that really well, so she's in a position to kind of dunk that tip.
And there is, once again, the very talented freshman, Aisha Carrick, forces a Miami timeout. Carrick, we talked about her a little bit earlier, Jake. She can do a little bit of everything, and a very strong server.
I think she is. Got that kind of that jump float, deep and flat. Swings her arm well. I mean, she's an opposite hitter. Played some last weekend. As a defensive specialist, she brings some value. She's physical. She's a good server. They set her sometimes on that D ball as well. Yeah, against Wake Forest, getting a chance to kind of be the woman out there on the right side for the Hokies. Like, I think she brings some things that are really positive. Solid all-around player. And Miami is getting it right now from Gandara. Like, he was not pleased going into that timeout.
Well, talking about Virginia Tech for a moment, we mentioned Carrick. Bell Patrick has been so good. You think about this freshman class that Marcy Byers has put together. There's a lot of talent and a lot to be excited about the future.
Yeah, and it's hard because you've got to, you can do a lot in the weight room, you can do a lot in training, the practice gym, but these are the matches, these are the experiences where you really grow as a young player. Getting an opportunity to play against a top 30 team, probably top 30 team in Miami, and then again on Sunday to get a top 20 team with Florida State. That's where you really start learning what college ball is about. The level of play in high school and club, especially club, is really good these days. But the jump to college, the jump to the ACC is so big because the teams are so physical and they're executing at such a high level. And the pressure is just different. You go club season and play 60, 70 matches a year. Most of them don't mean anything. Where you come to college and say, no, every match counts. Every match matters.
Out of the Miami timeout.
They change setters here.
Patrick. Bump set from Rosado. Emmanuel Duran came flying in. Bump set from Vieira. The backup setter.
Yeah, so what's happened here is they subbed in. They subbed in Gushing for Ariana Rodriguez and then Vieira for Grace Lopez. So basically flipped it from being a front row setter to a back row setter, kind of like a makeshift 6-2 here. I think just to get out of this rotation now, they're going to stay with here at 24-15.
Alanis Vieira was huge down the stretch in the comeback win against #1 Texas. Her serving off the bench.
Well, I think it's good practice for Miami as well. I mean, again, it's a set they have well in hand. But, hey, if we get into a spot here in this rotation, this is a change that we can make in practice.
That's point to Virginia Tech. Hokies down by as many as 13 in this set with an 8.
You got to keep pushing here. I mean, you've got to go for it from the service line for Bell Patrick. You need to generate some aces. This should be a good serve-receive lineup here. Let's see Rosado take a little bit more room from Herrera Colon.
And won an emphatic way to end set number 2 in the middle. Dahlia Wilson and the Canes take a 2-0 lead.
She's got it all, though. She really does. She can play off speed. She can play fast. She plays high. Good blocker. I always dump on left side blockers because a lot of them aren't any good at blocking, but she's a really, really, really outstanding blocker as well.
Now, Heredia Cologne, 5 matches ago, Miami, and a big win against Arkansas. There's a big dig, and Virginia Tech ties it at 1. Only had 2 kills in that top 25 affair against Arkansas. She responded with 51 kills over her last 3 matches, and there you see her accolades. She and Lopez really fun 1-2 punch for the Hurricanes.
You know, it's still a left side game. At this level, at every level, if you want to win, you've got to have outside hitters that can take you places. And I think Miami has 2 of them here between Kearney and Heredia Cologne.
That's down. Aylward, an ace. Jake for Virginia Tech. Let's shift to the Hokies. They finished set 2 on a high note. What do they need to do to get out to a good start here in set 3?
They've got to flip the serve and pass game. Right now, there you go, right there, ace number 2. So you've got to serve tough, take Miami out of this offense. And look, Miami's going to get in the system. They're going to get theirs. They're a good team. They're going to find one-on-ones. They're going to get kills. But you've got to put them under service pressure to try and slow down that offense.
Gushing to Walgren.
So this is Gushing for Kearney to set.
Back row swing, Heredia Cologne. There's a pancake from Emmanuel Duran. They're going to say it hit the floor. Awfully close.
Yeah, I was blocked here by the standard, by the pole. I couldn't see the point of contact, but I don't see anybody on Virginia Tech really arguing this. There's the tip from Heredia Cologne. Oh, yeah, no way. Nope, misses that by about 4 inches there. So, Paula Gushing into the match this set for Ava Kearney. Kearney hit 0.67 through the first 2. Really struggled in set 2 to score. So a little bit of Miami trying to figure out who is our best 6, who is our best 7. And having someone like Gushing, who 2-time Horizon League Player of the Year when she was at Youngstown State, then transferred to Hawaii, and then to Miami this year. Having someone with that level of experience in a good program, it's a nice luxury.
The dig from Rosado. Already Cologne got all of it. She's asking for a touch, not going to get it. And now looking to see if her coach will challenge, and he will. Right away, for Marie Heredia Cologne talking to the up official.
Getting a challenge. There we go. That's a good look at it.
Miami challenges
yeah.
the touch off the block.
That's it right there. We don't need to see a second look. That is clearly off Sarah Malinowski's right hand. Good camera work.
Absolutely. That's Will on the camera right in front of us. Now, just talking about Paula Gushing, the senior who has come in here in set number 3. We've discussed a lot of players for Miami in an offensive standpoint, but and you're talking about a Horizon League player. There is good volleyball in the Horizon League. And Coach Gandara told us she's getting used to the tempo of the offense. Experienced player that could really help them down the stretch.
Look, the difference between a good team in the Horizon League or the Patriot League or the MAC or whatever it is, and a good team in the ACC or Big Ten, it isn't skill. It's usually size and how high they play. So someone like Gushing, she's not as high as Carney or Heredia Cologne, maybe not quite as physical, but the skill set's there, and the ball control is really valuable. The shot making, the all-around play. You see that second year at Youngstown State to go 500-plus kills, almost 300 digs, 50 aces. That's a complete player. And you will always, I don't care what team you're coaching, you want players like that in your gym because they can do it all. And they come in as a fourth-year player with lots and lots of experience.
And we're looking at, was there a touch or not off the block of Virginia Tech? Ruled no touch. Here's a look.
That is, I just hope that they have access to that angle because that's definitive. Yeah, okay. Touch, point Miami. That's the right call.
Last year against Virginia Tech, 19 kills, 16 digs for Heredia Cologne against the Hokies. Today, 12 kills, 7 digs. Hurricanes leading by 1. Patrick, no touch on the far side. Evan Hughes, Jake Lawrence with you on your Friday night. Hurricanes leading 2-0. Both teams searching for win number 1 in ACC play. Walgren in the middle, blocked. Patrick tips, that's blocked. Free ball to the corner, Gushing there. Heredia Cologne, that's down. Such emphasis on that swing.
Yeah, free ball, perfect pass. Wilson draws the middle block. Heredia Cologne, one-on-one for the kill.
Patrick blocked. And you go back to a win against number 1 Texas a couple of weeks ago. It was the blocking of Miami that really came alive down the stretch.
Yeah, that serving, the good serve leads into more blocking, leads into better defense.
Timeout, Virginia Tech. Hurricanes lead it by 4. We'll return to Castle Coliseum after this timeout.
Our house-made ketchup.
Welcome back. Set 3, Miami leading 7-3. Out of the Virginia Tech timeout, what's the biggest message from Coach Byers to her group, Jake?
You've got to get in the system, got to find a kill. It's a tough rotation here, rotation 2. Nasty serve.
Carrick. Lopez the up. Gushing from the back row. Rodriguez sets Lopez. That is a point for Miami.
So it's a little bit different for Miami here with Gushing. I'll be interested to see what happens when she's done serving if they sub her out in the back row. She's good enough to stay in there, and then she provides even more offense. Now you've got 4 attackers. Front row setter with Lopez hit the D ball, and then Gushing, we just saw her run the pipe. You want to maximize your, what's going on over here? We've got trainer talking to somebody. We seem to be good to go, playing on. Yeah, it seemed to be an issue with Leandra Manuel Duran. She seems all right.
Off the tape. Walgren right back for Carrick. And there's a swing, and it's Ariana Rodriguez saying, I want to get in on the action.
Don't forget that Rodriguez is a lefty. You know, we see it on that big jump serve. Good opportunity. Virginia Tech's a little out of sorts here.
Carrick been set off, and bump set from Rosado. Back row swing from Gushing, and there's the defense from Virginia Tech on the block.
That's a good block there. That's a tough swing there for Gushing. That ball's coming from her left side, has to go all the way across her to hit back row. It's hard to hit angles there, so she ends up going right up the middle. And we can see her, she kind of doesn't have a lot of options. Has to go up the middle. Hallman sets the block well and gets her.
Really important stretch coming for Virginia Tech, down 5.
Oh, it's huge. It's the match right here. I mean, you've got to find a way to claw back into it. Go on a little mini run here. You don't need to get 5, but you need to get 1 before Miami sides out. Start working your way back. That's not it. That's what when you're down like this, 5-6 points, you want to side out, then score a point on your serve. And just kind of keep going that 2 for 1 and try and work your way back into it. You can't get it all at once.
Dahlia Wilson. Great float serve. Rodriguez, already a Cologne. Huge dig, Manuel Duran. Lopez hit that so hard it bounces off the tape and down.
Yeah, Lopez, that's a really good run there. Rodriguez even looks to make sure Lopez is ready. Flips that pipe set to her. Just like you said, Lopez cranks it, doesn't get it across, doesn't get it above the tape, hits it hard enough that it goes through the tape. Or off the tape and over.
Patrick continuing to swing hard and gets a kill.
That's where Bell Patrick has to live offensively. Hit deep. You know, you want to try and hit the 4 feet sort of around the edges of the court. 4 feet close to the sideline and end line. Those balls are hard to dig. You usually have to worry about 1 defender, and you're taking away the block a little bit, taking the block out of play.
Another big dig from Manuel Duran. No touch. Miami by 7. And Ariana Rodriguez, sure cool for her family. You know, her sister Ileana, a Hokie last year, a Libro.
She had a really good year for Virginia Tech last year. Provided a lot of leadership and ability at a critical position at Libero. Sort of the first name on the lineup, first number on the lineup card every match was Ileana Rodriguez last year for Virginia Tech.
I'm sure Ileana has got to be really proud of younger sister.
You know, there's a long history of sisters and siblings playing sports, playing volleyball. It's not, to see the younger sister be really talented too is not surprising. That's going to be 4.
Patrick back to serve. Well, red at the net. Already a Cologne. That's wide, trying to go down the line. Tech within 4.
Kendo Gandara here, he's really quick to make adjustments. And so, you know, things aren't quite running the way they do. He changes the serve receive pattern. Move somebody in, move somebody out.
Walgren takes a swing. That's why.
So there he moved Lopez, pulled Lopez back into serve and receive, moved Heredia Colon forward and out, and said, okay, Flor Marie, you don't have to pass to attack right now. Focus on hitting, take some of the pressure off for this 1 point. Lopez drops back, she sticks the pass, they eventually get the side out.
Pierce, strong swing. Miami able to free that. Pierce, another strong swing, and it's a point for Virginia Tech. She's got a kill. We highlighted her on the top. A lot of swings in set one. Starting to get back into sync here in set three.
She was hitting 0 until just now on 19 attempts. She's going to have to produce more. Someone's going to have to produce more from that left side. Again, Miami, 38 kills, hitting 289 for the match. Virginia Tech, 21 kills, hitting 085. Identical number of hitting errors and almost identical number of attempts. So the difference is the kills. Miami's putting balls away, Hokies are not.
Back row set already. Cologne got all of it. Now we've seen Rodriguez consistently not afraid to go to her back row.
That was the hardest ball we've seen hit tonight. That might be the hardest ball we've seen hit yet this season in this building. That thing was smoked. And that is a valid strategy as an attacker. Just hit it so hard that nobody can dig it. It's great, like Heredia Colon, big celebration after that. Ariana Rodriguez, no reaction at all. Just cool as a cucumber.
And if you're just joining us, Miami set 1, 25-22. Set 2, 25-16, the final. And this Hurricanes team, so good in the non-conference. They really challenged themselves. And that the one that I'm sure everyone had circled on the calendar was going to #1 Texas. Jake, they fell behind 2-0, and then the Canes came storming back on the road to win 3-2.
You're talking about defending national champions. You're at their place. Nobody wins in Gregory Gym, at least not the last few years. And this was a result that I was looking at the scores and oh my gosh sort of thing, and really take notice of a program like Miami. You know, is that them taking their next step? Win over Texas. It's a pretty solid non-conference right there. Win over Texas. Win over a good Arkansas team. You know, losing at Ohio State's no shame. They're solid. Emily Londot is having a wonderful year. Jen Flynn-Oldenburg is going to get it going at Ohio State again. And then you come into conference play, and you play your big rival, and you lose 2. Lose in 5 at Florida State, and come home and lose in Miami. So a little bit of a reset.
And how would you say they've responded here tonight?
I'm sure Keno is going to have all kinds of things that they need to get where they need to get better, and he has not looked particularly pleased over there. I can see him working his team. They're driving them forward and looking to get better every night.
Pierce, one of her best swings of the night, puts Tech within 5.
But I'm sure in a quiet moment he won't share with anybody else. He's probably pretty happy to see his team come out and play well tonight. Big swing from Haley Pierce again, living on those edges, working the edges of the court, hard cross court. It's where she's going to find kills.
Wilson in the middle, not there, and it's Hallman who's been really good defensively tonight for Virginia Tech. She read it well.
That ball's got to get set higher here for Dahlia Wilson. It just never quite gets to her. It kind of dies on the road. It's Ariana Rodriguez. Wilson's got to go to where she's supposed to go. And usually when the set's off the net, she's got to move away from the setter to give Rodriguez space. But in the end, Rodriguez has got to deliver that thing in a hittable way.
Walgren, middle. Ready to Cologne the pass. Cross-court Gushing. Yes. That's a big point for Miami.
It's a good angle there from Paul Gushing.
Again, for Virginia Tech, this just feels like the spot here in set 3, Jake. If you're going to make a run, it's right here.
It's got to be now. Toughest server on the team out there, too.
Wide. Tech within 4. And to your point, Lopez only one serve opportunity there.
Yeah. And I think just another missed connection there between Dahlia Wilson and Ariana Rodriguez. That sets for where Wilson was. That sets low and tight. Wilson can probably get in a better position there, but Rodriguez has got to find her. And if the set's not there, you can't make a hitting error.
Gushing puts that away, but that's all thanks to the excellent bump set from deep in the court.
Rosado there with the big bump set. She's had a few nice secondary sets tonight. It's a critical skill for a libero. Good smash. Yeah, it's touched. Yeah, absolutely touched off the block. So I think that call's coming from the R1. So that's they're not usually quick to make a touch call on their own.
And it looks like Coach Gandara is considering.
We've got Brian Jones and Terry Martin right now. We're just on the headset talking to each other about it. So he's telling Terry Martin what he saw, so Terry can communicate it. So Terry can communicate it to the bench. But now this is going to be a challenge looking for a touch.
Miami is challenging for a touch.
Or rather, no touch. Call on the court. It's touch. Point Virginia Tech. Miami saying the ball was not touched. This is a good look at it right here.
It looks like, Jake, if it's going to be off of someone, it'd be off Rodriguez.
Maybe like the middle finger of Dahlia Wilson there on her left hand. So to our right when we're looking at that. The hand that's taped up right there. That's tough.
Here's a good look. I think now the question is that conclusive enough to overturn?
Yeah, it's got to be conclusive that she didn't touch that. That's a tough call. I'm saying call stands.
You are 2 for 2 tonight.
They've been 2 easy ones, to be fair. Now we have a hard one.
Well, if you're Virginia Tech, if this stands down 4 on serve.
Got Lopez in the back row, Rodriguez in the front row. This has been a little, if there's been a challenging scenario for Miami tonight offensively, it's been this one. It's been rotation 5, rotation 6. So center and middle front, center and right front. And so this is a good opportunity to go for it, put some pressure on them. I'm sorry, I lost track of who's serving for Virginia Tech. We'll figure it out when we come back.
And remember, for our viewers just joining us, set 1, Miami got out to a big lead. Virginia Tech came roaring back, made it a very competitive finish. Hokies looking to rally middle part of set 3.
So it should be Manuel Durano. They're going to go point. Virginia Tech, call stands. So that doesn't help that Terry Martin signaled the wrong way at the beginning. So they're having a chat. Oh wow. Okay. So the call we just got a call relayed in. The touch is there on Paula Gushing. They're saying she touched it as it went out of bounds, and that was the call. And Ken Gandara is telling Terry Martin exactly how many calls he missed tonight. And so typically a touch call does not come from the first official. the official on the stand. They're not really looking there. The line judges are trying really hard to catch touches, especially in the back row. So I think a part of the consternation is the fact that the up ref made the call.
Already a Cologne, the pass and the kill.
And you side out, it's 18-13, and you just move on. That's kind of what the down ref is there for, is for the coaches to get mad at. That's okay, though. It keeps the coaches from yelling across the court at the up.
Walgren leaves it to the back row. Was there a touch? No. Canes with a quick 2 points. Hitting 289. There's the middle, and it's Robinson going up to her highest point to put that away.
Yeah, good pass there from Elizabeth Aylward. Gets Virginia Tech in the system. Gets the ball to Robinson. Robinson's been efficient. He's been efficient the last month or so. Hit 625 tonight on 8 attempts.
Patrick trying to find the opening. Patrick. And Mangle Duran, hustle, everybody diving on the floor, but a Miami point. On a night in which she picks up 1,000 career digs, Mangle Duran, you mentioned the Libro jersey she's now wearing, doing a really nice job, even though it's a point for Miami.
That's only the 4th swing tonight for Bianca Lulick. They get it to her in transition on a back one or a C ball. You're just, at this point, you know, an hour and a half and almost 3 full sets into the match. As a blocker, you're not dialed in on Lulick, especially with Grace Lopez and Heredia Colon in the front row. You're focused on them. So to pop one to Lulick right there is a really good strategy.
Lannis Vieira on the serve. Walgren, no look. The dump, beautifully executed. How about that?
Yeah. Right hand, kind of right hand beyond the right ear. You've got to be sure there's nobody there because you're not jamming it to the floor. It's a very soft tip. But if that left side blocker is tucked in to help on Jasmine Robinson in the middle, it's open.
Already a Cologne, so strong on the right side.
Gave a little dance afterwards on that one.
At least 250 kills each of her first 2 years, well on her way to that stat and more this year. Canes by 6. Another dump, 10-foot line, open. Walgren coming off that double-double, trying to keep Virginia Tech in it.
Solid pass there again. Walgren goes two-handed dump over there. Miami's going for it. It's not like nobody made a move. You had 3 players make a move. Walgren's not super offensive as a player. She doesn't dump a lot. So from a tactical standpoint, your defensive positioning, you're not really, that's not the first thing on the scouting report. So they might be playing a little bit deeper, looking for deep shots from the middles and being ready to handle the left side attack.
Was there? Yes, that was off of Virginia Tech's Aisha Carrick. And that was Vieira setting the front row for Miami.
This is Vieira getting some, Kendall Gandara getting some Vieira some playing time here at the end of the set. You know, we saw them bring Vieira in at the end of set 2. I think it's, you know, it's a way to build preparedness in your team. We can run the offense under game conditions with either center. We can go to a 6-2 if we have to.
Pierce, paintbrush. Lopez in the corner.
And Vieira's, it's different with Vieira because she's smaller and she's not going to be as high as Rodriguez. So that set comes from a different contact point. So the timing is slightly different. It was a good set to Grace Lopez. cranks it cross court. You got to bring that block set up further in. Make her go line. She can do it, but make her do it.
Pierce puts that away. 6th kill of the night for the sophomore out of Charlotte. Here the set, back row, Heredia Cologne. Match point, Miami.
Exclamation point, Miami. Oh, this is just a bick right here to Heredia Cologne. She gets all of that. One-on-one with Jordan Hallman. Hallman's got no shot there. I mean, that's too much ground to cover.
Carrick on the left side. Heredia Cologne again for the back row. A little too much there.
You know, probably the right shot there on that, because that set's low. That's low, a little bit deep. It's kind of chop across your body a little bit, hit some sort of off-speed shot, maybe score. But I think she was trying to go out all gas, no brakes there.
And that's out. Miami win number 1 in the ACC this year. Hurricanes respond after a disappointing opening weekend. 25-22 set 1, 25-16 set 2, 25-18 set 3, and that's win number 12 in a row against Virginia Tech.
I think overall